Welcome back to News Conference. Recently, a grassroots internet group called the Courage Campaign waged an effort within the California Democratic Party to censure Senator Dianne Feinstein for her Senate judiciary votes to confirm Michael Mukasey as the next Attorney General and Leslie Southwick to the federal bench, both, of course, Bush nominees. The group took their censure campaign to the California Democratic Party's meeting in Anaheim recently, a move that has attracted national attention. Rick Jacobs is the founder of the Courage Campaign. He joins us. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Explain, what is the Courage Campaign?
The Courage Campaign is an online and offline organizing entity, focuses on California, and we have one mission, and that is to empower the netroots and the grassroots to be able to hold people accountable in California and build a more livable state.
And you're talking about Democrats. This is a Democratic organization for the most part. You have independents.
No, we're actually not a Democratic organization. We are a progressive organization, and we'll take anybody who is progressive, and we have a lot of them.
How many?
Well, we're approaching 100,000, and things have moved really, really well. People are very excited, for example, about the idea that they would be given the power to hold their own elected officials accountable. For example, this move to censure Dianne Feinstein came from a guy named Mal Bernstein, who's an organizer and co-chair of the Progressive Caucus of the California Democratic Party. We gave them the power. We gave them the platform. We helped push this movement so that the executive board of the California Democratic Party at least had to pay attention.
Now, that's what happened in Anaheim recently. You tried to move this to the floor of the executive board. What happened?
Well, we didn't succeed, very simply. There are a lot of rules, and for various reasons, we were unable even to have a debate about this.
You didn't succeed because the party didn't want to embarrass the senator.
I believe that's very true. Chairman Torres, who is a very eloquent man, spoke for about a half an hour on the first day of the meeting defending Senator Feinstein. Now, Chairman Torres also said that should we disagree with her votes on Southwick and Mukasey? Yes, we should. And he also went further and said that he had talked to Senator Feinstein, told her that telecom immunity is very important. He said it's very important to him personally. So we hope
a telecom immunity, for the viewers that don't know about that, it's granting immunity to private telecom companies who worked with the government on FISA or on eavesdrop.
Private companies, AT&T and others, were asked by the Bush administration to eavesdrop on you, on me, on who knows. And they did. And that's not okay because they forgot one simple thing. There's a court system, and they didn't go there. Now, Senator Feinstein initially indicated that she would not pass any renewed bill to granting any spying authority at all to the government unless there was a provision for providing immunity to those telecommunications companies who may have broken the law. Providing them immunity so that if they were sued, well, they couldn't be sued, in fact. And so what's happening now is there's a new bill coming up, and Senator Feinstein, we hope, will not allow telecommunications companies to have immunity.
This is a woman who voted against Alberto Gonzalez, John Roberts. She has opposed numerous Bush nominees over the past 8 years. And she has said, quote, "I have never believed that the people that elected me to represent this big state just to be a rubber stamp for some group. The president is owed some consideration to get his own team, provided that they are qualified." And in the case of the Attorney General, the Bar Association gave him the highest qualification.
Senator Leahy, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, initially supported Judge Mukasey. Senator Kennedy initially supported Judge Mukasey. In fact, all but about six Democrats ultimately voted against Mukasey, and only two, Dianne Feinstein and Chuck Schumer, voted to get him out of committee. Here's the problem. Senator Feinstein is elected absolutely to use her judgment. She's also elected by the people of California to represent us, and she has an obligation to communicate with us. KNBC ran a marvelous investigative report about Blackwater going into San Diego, and you did a follow-up story about that. And we've been working very hard to keep Blackwater, that security company, out of our state, private mercenary training. Over 10,000 people signed a petition to Senator Feinstein, Senator Boxer, and Governor Schwarzenegger and said, would you please stand up and say we don't want Blackwater here? Well, we didn't expect to hear from the governor. He's actually employed some Blackwater people. We did hear from Senator Boxer, and we didn't hear a word from Senator Feinstein. So here's the point. We're looking for a few things from our senator. Number one is leadership, and never allow the Constitution of the United States to be trampled on.
Has your organization endorsed in the race for president?
Absolutely not.
You were Harvard Dean's man in California when he ran. Does it matter if Hillary Clinton does not apologize for her vote for the war in Iraq? Do you?
Well, it matters to me. I think that Hillary Clinton...
Would you like her to do that?
I would very much like her to do that.
Is that a deal breaker if she doesn't?
No, it's not a deal breaker if she doesn't. But here's the point. People have to be accountable for their actions. It's the same with Hillary Clinton voting as she did and then not standing up and saying, I'm accountable for something that I did wrong. It's the same with Dianne Feinstein, who votes for... These are key votes, by the way. These are votes on homophobia and votes on racism, and frankly, these are also votes on the Constitution itself. These are not trivial.
Last question. The website is?
CourageCampaign.org, www.couragecampaign.org, and we hope you'll visit.
Rick Jacobs, thank you very much. Up next, a response from a Feinstein confidant, political consultant Bill Carrick, when News Conference returns.